Hello, and welcome to Matt's Movie News. Today, I'm going to be discussing Oscar Isaac's thoughts on working with Guillermo del Toro, whether Elizabeth Olsen's ever going to come back to the Scarlet Witch, and Taylor Swift dominating the box office. And a couple of other things sprinkled in there too. Right, shall we get to it? Right. Oscar Isaac is Victor Frankenstein, currently. The film's not coming out quite yet. I think it's like next week, which is quite near to Halloween, which is pretty cool for a Frankenstein story. He's been talking about how fun it's been to work with Guillermo del Toro. Yeah, I've heard this quite a few times, to be fair, because I think he's quite a. He seems not like childish in his demeanor, but like he's always like he's a kid in a candy store. You know what I mean? Guillermo del Toro, like he enjoys getting to make big, like bombastic, dramatic, gothic kind of stories, doesn't he? And he just enjoys playing. You know what I mean? Yeah, Oscar Isaacs really said that he's loved playing in that sandbox with him. You know what I mean? He says running around in the rain, up and down steps, this Christ-like thing on the crucifix, and Guillermo in the corner screaming. It was hard to fathom that it was actually happening. It's such dark material. It was approached with so much joy. Like 14-year-old had keys to the kingdom. It had that kind of energy to it. But yeah, he says it was the most effing fun I've ever had in my life. So can't get much more praise than that, can you, for the director? He said that when he was talking to SFX magazine. But yeah, it just seems like he's had a really good experience, which is nice to hear. You get so many stories about actors having awful times on sets and things, don't you? It's really nice to get an actor praising it. I mean, you get it more often these days, the actors praising the directors, but so I think that kind of the Hollywood cliche of directors being bad people, let's say, sense of myself. It's kind of dying out now, which is nice. But yeah, hopefully it'll be like a new kind of common pairing between them two. So I've always liked Oscar Isaac. I think since like I kind of liked him in Star Wars, but I think the thing that put me onto him, I was like, oh my god, he's pretty good. In fact, no, Drive was the first thing that I watched with Oscar Isaac in, which I was like, he was really good. But, like I was like, oh my god. Like spoilers, like it doesn't go well for that character in Drive. But yeah, he was really good in that character. He was really like captivating. I mean, like even cemented that even more in what's it, Moon Knight. God, I think Moon Knight's proper slept on in the MCU now. Because that TV show was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. But I'm kind of into a lot of like psychology and stuff like that, so I kind of really enjoyed the character exploration in that TV show. But yeah, Frankenstein comes out on the 17th. Also stars Christoph Waltz, Maya Goth, and Jacob Elordi is the monster in it, which is quite interesting because he's like, I love how he goes against typecast in this film. And he's like, oh yeah, he's always like the romantic love interest or like the sexy, charismatic guy, and like I'm just going to be a full-on like monster. But yeah, there's no words from any of the actors of whether they had a good time or not, but it's nice to hear that Guillermo's fun. You know what I mean? Oscar Isaac went on to say that Del Toro's approach to the film was that much more interested in the emotional underpinnings of what the character means to him than the stuff we've seen, which I guess is kind of mad scientists. There's elements of that, but we approach it more as an artist. And really, this idea of generational abuse and trauma that gets passed down, and how he continues to pass that down towards his creature, and ultimately the reckoning that happens because of that. Kind of seems like it's a lot more cerebral, maybe, in its approach. I've always thought of the monster as quite a cerebral creature. Anyway, you know what I mean? Like he's very. Like the book is written. I swear the book's written from. I think you get it from Frankenstein's perspective, and then the monster's perspective. Sure, or the creature, or what I'm going to call it. Sure, that's how the book's written. I think. Or it might even be just from the monster's perspective. Yeah, I've read it. I read it ages ago, but I remember it being really impactful and stuff, and like really thinking through like, oh, what am I? What am I here for? What do I want? Like, how do I view my creator and stuff? And it was really interesting. It's cool that that's the approach that Doctor Who was taking. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's weird what Netflix is doing really, because it's kind of they have like a week or two of like theatrical release, and then it's going to be on Netflix on November the 7th. So yeah, want to catch that? Definitely, I might try and get it in the cinema. To be fair, I don't think I've ever watched a Frankenstein cinema. I don't think so. I'd like to catch one, and especially if it's Guillermo, because I know he's been wanting to make this for years. You're talking like this is like his passion project. So, and I do like Guillermo del Toro films. I've always kind of I like Pan's Labyrinth. I like Hellboy. I've not seen Shape of Water, but I bet that's good. Oh, what else have I seen? I liked this. Yeah, there's a few things, but yeah. Rotten Tomatoes so far, Frankenstein's not even out yet. It's got 81% score from critics from 88 reviews. So that's pretty well. I mean, Guillermo del Toro films haven't always been the biggest box office smash, but like, obviously, Shape of Water was like nominated for like Oscars and things. It wasn't? Did it win? Did it win? It might have won. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see. I think Jacob Elordi is kind of getting quite a good. He's not a bad actor though, to be fair. If you think like Euphoria and stuff, he's really good in that TV show. And he's good in Saltburn as well. So there's echoes that he's being considered for Bond, which I think, considering they wanted to get a British actor, is a bit odd. But you know, don't do that. Get a Brit, please. Have an authentic Bond. Technically, to be an authentic Bond, you need to be Scottish, don't you? Because isn't the character Scottish? Pretty sure originally was. Hence Sean Connery. You know. But yeah, quite excited for that Frankenstein. Excited that everyone in it enjoyed it from the sounds of it. Well, at least the main character, one of the main characters. But yeah, what do you guys think about Oscar Isaac's thoughts on working with Guillermo? Are you surprised that he had a good time? Have you heard bad things about Guillermo del Toro? I don't think I have, but he always seems quite a jolly guy, which is nice. Yeah, leave your comments and thoughts down below about Frankenstein. Are you looking forward to it? Are you looking forward to it for Jacob Elordi, even though it's going to be monstrous? Are you not looking forward to it? You're thinking, oh, for another Frankenstein. But I'm not thinking that. I like Frankenstein. It's a great tale to be retold again and again. It's a good fable. But yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you think. Please, and thank you. Next up, a 6 Degrees of Separation other MCU actor is talking about one of her most iconic roles so far, probably Hollywood-wise. Anyway, Elizabeth Olsen has been talking about Scarlet Witch, which is quite exciting because other than animation, she hasn't really mentioned the Scarlet Witch for a while, which is a bit disappointing because I think she's one of the best characters in the MCU. Well, was in the MCU. Her apparent death in Doctor Strange, but it has neither been clarified or like confirmed. So it's still up in the air whether she's actually dead or not. I hope she's not. I hope she's kind of like, oh yeah, dead, but not actually dead. She's like hiding or something. That would be better. Or like in another universe or something. You know what I mean? But technically, she's like an anchor. She's like a. Is it an anchor being? Are you in different? Yeah, because she looks the same in different universes. But technically, doesn't that make her an anchor being? I don't know. But that's a little bit flip floppy that rule. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, dead or not dead. During a chat with the Hamptons International Film Festival, subject of her character came up and whether she would be coming back. And she said, it's something that I love and it's something I always want to return to. I think the thing that's been so special about the last 5 years is I've gotten to do so much with the character that I never thought I would. There was still character through lines that have happened in the comics I'd love to do that I think fans also want. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't say no to me. That says she loves it, and I don't think she was that impressed with what they did with her in Multiverse of Madness, as multiple people weren't. I don't know. I mean, they're finishing off this kind of unofficial trilogy, aren't they? With the Vision Quest. Sorry, like I mentioned last week, I think it was. Um, but yeah, I think they need a revival for that character, don't they? Or like a redemption. It's like they just kind of crapped all over her in bloody Multiverse Madness. Like it was quite cool. There was cool bits in the film, but like, I mean, it sounds like she was willing to come back. They haven't actually confirmed whether she's going to be in um, Doomsday or Secret Wars, but when asked in an interview with the Hollywood Reporter on the 24th of March if she's actually going to be in it or not, she said, "No, I'm back in the States. I just finished the Panic Carefully. I'm moving on to filming a pilot for FX called Seven Sisters." So, but Kevin Feige has said that the whole cast of Doomsday hasn't been announced yet. So, potentially she could be coming back. But I keep hearing rumours as well. I mean, rumours aren't exactly fact, are they? Evidently, that's why they're called rumours. But I keep hearing this thing about, oh yeah, Doom went to get Franklin Richards in spoilers, the post-credit scene in Fantastic Four. He went to get Franklin so that because he knows that he can resurrect people, so that he can resurrect the Scarlet Witch. So technically, could that be like the cliffhangery ending of Doomsday? That like he resurrects the Scarlet Witch for something, or could that be part of Doomsday? Like part of the plot? Like he goes around like resurrecting all these characters because they're like, I don't know, anchor beings or something, or they caused incursions, or they can cause incursions, or they can undo incursions, or he uses them to make Battle World and it's going to be in Secret Wars, or I don't know. That could factor into it, and the fact that Elizabeth Olsen's quite excited to come back, or it sounds like she would, not excited, but she would come back to it. Because she says, she explained that some people have ongoing television series that they want to get to return to. Very few, I feel like, get to be part of franchises that I know we might culturally get a little bit exhausted by. But there's something about them that becomes very familial. So, like, I think that sounds like she enjoys being part of the cast, you know what I mean? Which is encouraging. But yeah, I don't know. I really do want her to come back because I love that character, and I think she's got room to grow, especially if they're going to do X-Men. Because I feel like, oh, you know what they could do if they, could they use her to somehow, I don't know, could she like insert, if she helped to build like the new universe, could she kind of insert herself into the X-Men? So that, because obviously in the comics she is Magneto's daughter, so like could she pop up in the new universe and be like, oh yes, this is my dad? She'd be like, it's been my dad the whole time, the whole time. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know. Or they're gonna redeem her and then kill her off, or as like a farewell to like the character, or is she gonna be reinvented in a new universe and like, well, I know none of that ever happened, but I don't know. Um, but yeah, what do you guys think? What does these do these comments from Olsen kind of make you think? Yeah, she's coming back, or no, that she just likes to talk nicely about it and she's never going to come back because what they did to her character? I don't know. But I suppose it's hard in seeing the quotes in a pocket, isn't it? Like you don't see the rest of what she said in the interview. You know what I mean? Like that's why some of these articles are a bit, I don't know, hard to not believe, but you know, like, hard to translate Because that could have just been said as a response to a specific question. So, you know what I mean? I might not. But yeah, I want it to come back. Do you want it to come back? Do you enjoy the Scarlet Witch? Do you think like me she was done dirty in Multiverse of Madness? Please let me know in the comments. I'm going to pin a couple of questions underneath this video for you guys to reply to. So, because I want some interaction, I want it. So, because I like talking to you guys about movies because I love them. So, do you love them? There's another question. But yeah, next story: Taylor Swift. Does this woman want any more money? You know what I mean? Like, she's crazy. She's got a movie that's doing crazy at the box office at the minute. It's like #1 in like England and America and stuff. But it was only on for like a weekend because it's like an accompanying kind of film, documentary type film to the Life of a Showgirl album that she's just brought out, and it's all over the radio. I don't know if you've heard it. You probably have, but like there's like 10 tracks on the radio at the minute from it. The movie is called The Official Release Party of a Showgirl. It features behind the scenes footage, lyric videos, and the premiere of a new music video for The Fate of Ophelia. And yeah, she offers commentary on the meaning behind each song. So yeah, that's doing really well. Which kind of shows that she's still dominating pop culture, isn't she? To be fair, all over the radio, all over cinema. Like you just need a TV dish show now, love, and you just be, you know what I mean? Just inserted into the brains of everybody forever. You know what I mean? Yeah, the project marks another multimedia milestone for Swift, whose artistic reach continues to extend beyond the music industry. Yeah, she's dominating the charts at the minute. This is crazy. Yeah, the album was released on October 3rd and includes 12 new tracks, most of which are on the radio, I think, from the sounds of it. Every 5 minutes you got a Taylor Swift song coming on. It includes a collaboration with Sabrina Carpenter. Within 24 hours of release, the album shattered streaming records across Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music. So crazy. She's like the female Ed Sheeran, isn't she? You know what I mean? Just like chucks an album out and is like, yeah, just have it all, guys. Just have it all. Just chuck it on there. Chuck it on the radio. It's fine. It's crazy. But yeah, it's not the first time that she's done a film to go with her music. She did Taylor Swift's City of Lover, Folklore, The Long Pond Studio Sessions, and Taylor Swift's Journey to Fearless. So, but the Eras Tour one was the most successful. Still is the most successful. But that was like, I think there was loads of build up to that one, wasn't there? There was like trailers on at the cinema for ages and everything, so I do vaguely remember. Yeah, that was 2023. I do remember those trailers and stuff. And it was advertised on like Disney Plus and things for ages, I think. I think it was Disney Plus. But yeah, are you a Swiftie? Do you have you seen the movie? Is it good? Let me know. But yeah, can't believe she's like a genius, Taylor Swift is, when it comes to releasing, like being successful. You know what I mean? She does work her ass off though. Not gonna lie. Like she's constantly touring, obviously making bloody movies, releasing whole albums. Like I heard an interview with her on the radio the other day on Capital. Yeah, she's quite like she seems quite down to earth as well. You know what I mean? She's not like living in a blooming fairyland. You know what I mean? She knows how to interact with the fans. She knows how to interact with like do interviews and stuff. She doesn't do many interviews, I've heard, but she like picks and chooses, so she knows where like her main audiences are and stuff. You know what I mean? She's cool. She's like business genius. You know what I mean? So that's off to her. To be fair. I was tempted to actually watch because there's 2 documentaries on Disney Plus. To be fair, I was tempted to like. Cause I've never really been that into it, like into a music and stuff. I was like, so I'll just watch one just to see like if I get like entranced by Taylor Swift and become a Swiftie. I don't know. Yeah, Yeah. I don't like the music. And the new album sounds pretty cool. This year's got some bangers, to be fair. Like, is it Bad Blood? It is Bad Blood, isn't it? Yeah. I like that song. Um, yeah, there's just kind of like timeless songs, aren't they? You know what I mean? They're kind of going to be around forever. And she's just got no signs of stopping, has she? So, you know what I mean? But she's getting married soon, so will that affect anything, do you reckon? Don't know. We should have, like, I don't know, take a break to have some kids or something, do you reckon? I don't know. Does she not want kids? She wants to, like, do that later in life? I don't know. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how things develop with their career and stuff. But can't fault her for her business strategies. She must have a hell of a good team around her. I mean, not that she can't do it on her own, but you know, like crazy, crazy money. But yeah, box office smash and dominating music. You know what I mean? You can't really do much better than that, can you? If it's an artist, like I say, it just needs to get on TV. Winner, winner. But from one success to another person's failure, I don't really see it as a failure because it sounds like he's like stretching himself. Dwayne Johnson's The Smashing Machine apparently hasn't done very well at the box office, or is projected to not do very well. Um, it's projected to only earn 6.2 million on its opening weekend, with a budget of 50 million. So you don't need to do like double your budget to like obviously to break. Is it double? Does it make sense? No, can't be double. But obviously you have to make over your budget to make it like a profit. But then you got like marketing and stuff as well. So I think it might be double. Because yeah, the Smashing Machine. It's about Mark Kerr, isn't it? I think it's an MMA fighter. It's like a biopic kind of thing. It's got him and Emily Blunt in it. Um, but yeah, I think he seems to be stretching himself now as an actor, which I admire, to be fair, because he's been kind of blockbuster guy, hasn't he? For what? You got to be talking close to like 2 decades now, surely. Because he was in the kind of like what was one of the first films he was? I think it was Welcome to the Jungle, wasn't it, with like Sean William Scott. That was one of the first things I remember, like the Mummy Returns, was it? Which was kind of it was ridiculous because it was like a CG fucking scorpion in it, which was cray cray. But and the CGI is awful. But it's come a long way since. I'm pretty sure it is. It's got to be at least 10 years, 10, 20 years. Do you reckon? It's been in movies now. So it's about time we started thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to actually try and get some proper good movies, like acting movies behind me. You know what I mean? Because it takes some actors most of their career before they make that decision. You know what I mean? Like, I think of some comedy actors and stuff. But yeah, if I mean, it's a different kind of movie, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's his first time he's been in something where he's actually like stretched himself as an actor. Like I can't fault him for that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of something he's been in where I thought, oh god, yeah, you can. I mean, Mo Arner. You know what I mean? That's just voice acting. I know a lot of the work's done with animation, but I really like him as like Maui. What was that character? He's really like endearing and like got a lot of heart in it as well. You know what I mean? Um, and like he can do comedy. I find it in Jumanji when he swap bodies. That's so funny. Especially in the second one when he does it like 3 times. And he has to pretend to be like Dwayne Johnson pretending to be Danny DeVito is so comical. Like I found it dead funny. I mean, it wasn't the best. I feel like he kind of hammed it up on purpose. There were some bits that were funny, but then other bits were a bit. Is this Dwayne Johnson actually trying to act like Danny DeVito, or is he doing like a caricature version of Danny DeVito? But yeah, I mean, it seems like he's put a lot of himself into this role, and he says he put on Instagram, in our storytelling world, you can't control box office results. What I realise you can control is your performance. your commitment to completely disappear and go elsewhere. I will always run to that opportunity. It was my honour to transform in this role for my director, Benny Safdie. And he adds, "Thank you, brother, for believing in me. Truth is, this film has changed my life." And he signed off the Instagram post with deep gratitude, respect, and radical empathy, DJ. But yeah, he probably just wants to throw himself in, doesn't he? Throw himself into the craft, which I think's good. Because you got to, I mean, realistically, I think, not like criticise him or anything, but John Cena's kind of beat him to that, I think, personally. Because Peacemaker's like hilarious, but there's bits in that where they're like proper, like affecting and heartfelt and like serious. And John Cena's just kind of like thrown him, like he's not been at it as long as Dwayne Johnson, and he's kind of just thrown himself into the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like he's done comedy, he's done action, he's done drama, he's done comic book. He's kind of just smushed a lot into like not a lot of years. You know what I mean? Whereas I don't know if he kind of just took what Dwayne Johnson did and just went, nah, I'm just gonna do it quicker. I want to get there quicker. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's about maybe he saw what John Cena did and was like, I do what I want it to do, but like quicker, better get it. But no, it's been praised critically. To be fair, it's earned a fresh Rotten Tomatoes score of 73%. So it went down well at the Venice International Film Festival, which is good. But yeah, I think potentially Oscars. Do you think? I think that's what they were going for rather than box office. I mean, yeah. I mean, it could be. I don't think what else would be nominated for the Oscars. There's a couple of things, but could it be in him? Like, kind of drive it more? Do you reckon? Drive the because he's never been in that kind of run before. Do you think you'd be like, oh, Dwayne Johnson Oscars? Maybe. Like, people have to vote, don't they? I think to get people nominated for the Oscars. I think I'm not too sure exactly how it works, but yeah. I don't think he's got a worry money wise, to be honest, because he's got flipping the Moana live action remake coming soon. So yeah, we'll see how that does. The first Moana did really well, but I don't know if this is going to have the same the same pull as the first Moana. You know, because it was kind of like his first. Was it his first foreign animation? It was the first Disney they wanted, at least. It was his first Disney like thing that he did. I'm sure it was. Because he did that Super Pets as well. I don't know if that was after Moana. Yeah, that's definitely his most well received. But yeah, what do you think of Dwayne Johnson trying to stretch his acting chops? And do you think it's a shame that's not going to be doing that well box office wise? I don't think it needs to. You know what I mean? It's not what he did it for. I think he just did it to push himself, and it seems like he has, and it's been well received by critics. So we'll see what he does next. I mean, obviously he's got Moana coming, but they're like actual proper film, not proper. Sorry, Moana, but you're a Disney film. You know what I mean? Like, what's he going to do after that? Like, that's in the same vein, kind of thing. Be interesting to see. Do you want Dwayne Johnson to keep pushing himself? Who do you think's doing better, John Cena or Dwayne Johnson? There's a poll for you. I'll put that at the bottom actually in the comments and see what you vote like, or on Instagram or something like that. But yeah, let me know. Finally, Kirsten Dunst, excitingly, has been discussing Spider-Man, which is interesting. Because Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi have both also been saying, "Oh yeah, Spider-Man, let's get back to it." Which is quite not like officially like written down or anything, but obviously the kind of Sony is still kind of, they've got 2 Spider-Man things already going. You know what I mean? But it's kind of been one of the biggest earners for Sony. So they're missing a trick if they don't utilize um, these other Spider-Men. You know what I mean? But during the appearance on the Soups show, Dunst talked about the prospects of a potential Spider-Man 4 installment. So obviously, she was Mary Jane 3 times in Sam Raimi's original trilogy. She talked about the potential for Maguire and her to come back and for Peter and MJ to be parents. She said that it would be cool, right? I mean, I don't know if the fans are into it. I feel like that is an interesting movie, right? Me and Toby doing that again with kids. Yeah, what do you guys think about these two doing it, going for a Spider-Man 4 potentially, or like a, I don't know, calling it Ultimate Spider-Man or something? I don't know, but I suppose that'd be a new one, wouldn't it? Would it be amazing? Would it be named Spider-Man 4 though? You can use that title, or use like Spider-Man Married with Kids. They could use one of the Ultimate Spider-Man subheadings from that I'm reading at the minute. One's called Married with Kids. It could be Spider-Man Married with Kids. That'd be quite a cheesy kind of subtitle, but they could just say that. I mean, you kind of see glimpses of Mary Jane and Peter with a kid in Spider-Verse, don't you? So it'd be cool to see kind of like a live action version of that. Like, are they going to do the Mayday kid like version, or are they going to do Ultimate Spider-Man version where he's got like a son and a daughter, or like what they do you reckon? Will they do their own spin on it? Like, they've got like 4 kids or something crazy? I don't know. Be interesting to see. But yeah, they were originally going to do a Spider-Man 4, but according to creative issues, it never actually happened, which is disappointing. But yeah, hearing that she's game to come back is really exciting, I think. Because obviously in No Way Home, Peter from that universe kind of says, like, "Oh yeah, we worked it out," kind of thing, and he also gets stabbed before he goes back to his own universe, which I don't know what. Could they kind of? He goes back and she has to look after him, and the kids are kind of like, "Oh my god, I've been injured and stuff," and it kind of carries on after that. I think that would be really cool for Sony to literally pick up when they get back from No Way Home and explore movies with those Spider-Men. Like, you're missing a trick, man. You're actually missing like out on millions. I feel like people would love to see those 2 Spider-Men along with Tom Holland's like carry on. Like, think how much money you're making if you've got 3 Spider-Men. It's not confusing, is it? They literally showed you the Spider-Man in like No Way Home. So even people that haven't seen those films know those characters, don't they? They're like, "Oh yeah, that's a Spider-Man, that's a Spider-Man," and then you got Tom. So he was doing his brand new day, which yay, cool. And if this rumor that Sadie Sink is Mayday Parker comes true, which would be mental, but it could. Could she be Tobey Maguire's daughter, and she goes back and like that, and she's in that universe? You know what I mean? That'd be mint. But yeah, she'd be a mint May Parker, I think. To be fair. But what do you guys think? Do you want Kirsten Dunst to come back as Mary Jane? I mean, you know what could have got us talking about this as well? Potentially. Maybe she's in Secret Wars or Doomsday with Toby. That'd be amazing. And Emma Stone, is Emma Stone going to be in? Because they've said, obviously, Kevin Feige said that, oh yeah, well, not all the cast hasn't been announced yet. So does that mean that we're going to have little cameos from them guys in it? I heard the Russos. I might make this another news for another day because I'm running a bit long. I'm more than half an hour currently, which is naughty. But I'm going to carry on. Apparently, the Russos have said that this is the most expensive film ever made, which does not surprise me, considering how many people are in it. Ridiculous cast. Can you imagine the cast photo for this one? It's going to be like a fold-out one, like. It's like, whoa, that's a big old cast, man. But yeah, you're excited for Kirsten Dunst? I am. Let me know in the comments. To round up, are you excited for potentially Elizabeth Olsen return to Scarlet Witch? Are you excited for Kirsten Dunst to return? Are you surprised that Dwayne Johnson hasn't drawn in more people for his first real, I would say, acting role, like leading acting role? Are you surprised by that? Let me know. That's my show for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please share, like, and subscribe. I'll see you next week for another Matt's Movie News.